Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Coco Gauff. Coco, congratulations. Another
Thanks.
straight sets win today. What would you say were your keys to victory today?
I think today was just being aggressive against her. She's a big hitter, and she likes the game on her terms. So I was trying my best to get deep in the court and just weather the storm.
Hey Coco, Daniel from the Melbourne website. You just dropped 7 games in 2 matches. You lasted 2.5 hours on court. How are the conditions of the court? They're like very good. How's that?
Yeah, I'm from here, so I'm very used to the heat. I do think like center court is slower than the practice courts, but quicker than it was at Indian Wells. So it is still like I feel like I'm adjusting to the court. But overall, I feel good so far. I'm trying to improve with each match. Definitely playing a little bit better than I was last week in Indian Wells. So I'm really happy with how I'm improving.
Hi, Coco. Cindy Schmerler from the New York Times. Can you talk a little bit about the impact Chrissy Evert has had on you, not just off the court, but really even in terms of your two-handed backhand?
Yeah, I'm be honest. I didn't grow up watching a lot of her tapes just because she was a generation, couple generations past me. But I've gotten to know her off the court a little bit more, and she's a very, very kind person. And she texts me sometimes, and I always try to text her, especially with the recent news with her illness and everything. But as far as like her impact on tennis, she's definitely, if you talk about tennis, she's one of the first names people think of, just timeless. And I always get videos of her like on court style looks on my page. So I feel like I know her more for that. And then I think once I turned pro is when I watched a little bit more of her old tapes, and it's definitely a different game. I wouldn't say I modeled my backhand after hers. Honestly, well, my team tried, and then I tried to model it after Novak Djokovic a lot, so that's where that inspiration comes from. But yeah, she's definitely obviously very knowledgeable of the game and a very kind person.
Kind of just a follow-up question regarding your backhand. So I was wondering when it's a little bit technical question. When you are hitting your backhand, are you feeling you are using right hand more than left hand, or you can hit more like with left hand?
I think for me, my backhand, most of the time when I'm making corrections, if I miss it, like in a net, I'm always saying use more left hand. So everybody's different. I don't know. But I've been taught to use more of your left hand on the backhand. The right kind of helps you get the power. But the left is definitely what you use for like the control and to change the height and everything. So I would say the left hand, if you want to have diversity in your backhand, is the most important for beginners trying to do a two-hand backhand.
Coco, just getting back to Chris, not asking you to divulge exactly what she messages you, but what's the type of message she'd be sending you? And do you get messages from other past champions as well? And if so, who might they be?
Yeah, a lot of her messages are just advice on some matches or just good job or just how are you doing, just regular messages. I do get some messages from past players, not as many as people would think. I would think the only person, honestly, other than Chrissy is Mary Jo, who I've grown up with a lot with Tony Gossick, being the kind of the agency I'm a part of. So Mary Jo, I get a lot of support from her, and then every now and then, once in a blue moon, Roger will send me a message. So that's always pretty cool when he does. And yeah, I can't think of any on the top of my head other than those two right now, but there's sure more, I'm sure.
Simon Evans, AFP. Another good win for Emma Novaro today. I just wondered, she seems to have really hit this last 6 months a different level of form, breaking into the top 20 now. What's your how do you see her development, and what would you put it down to, really?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by her being top 20, honestly. I would say like maybe how fast it happened because I feel like it happened so fast. But like when we played in junior, she's always had an all-around game, and I think it just comes down. She's a great athlete. She's a very smart player. I played her in Auckland, and even though the scoreline seemed maybe a little bit easier, but the match was difficult. And yeah, she's giving the top players trouble. She's not somebody you want to see early in the tournament. So yeah, I'm really happy for all the success that she's having. She's a hard worker from what I hear, and yeah, I'm not surprised by it at all.
Coco, WTA, Greg Garber. Can you talk about your next potential matchup? Garcia is playing Osaka.
Yeah, I played both of them, and I'll start with Caroline. She's always a tough player to play. I think the most recent time we played was U.S. Open, like 2 years ago, if I remember, or yeah, probably even sooner. I can't remember the most recent time, but I think I lost to her the most recent time. And she's tough. We all know how she plays. She takes the ball super early, plays very aggressive. And then Naomi coming back from having her daughter. I saw her play against Selena last night, and she was playing a good high level of tennis. And they kind of play similar in a way, just different. It's like weird, but both big hitters, very aggressive. And I think for me, it's going to be important that I just kind of stick to my game and getting the ball to deep in the court and not letting them, run me around on the court. So it's kind of going to be a big matchup, I guess, regardless of who I play.
Regarding Naomi, as last year's U.S. Open, I think she came to watch your match, and you guys exchanged some nice words. So when she came to your match last year, did you expect? Is that possible to expect that you're gonna play her at this very short period of the time?
I didn't. I knew that she came to the match after the match. I actually didn't see her in the stands. But yeah, I think I expected to play her again when she came back on tour, and especially her not being seeded because her ranking dropped a little bit. You're gonna get her eventually. I really thought I was gonna play her at Indian Wells, so I'm hoping to play her here. I think we have great matches against each other, and she's definitely the champion of our sport. And regardless of her being gone, I still think she's one of the best hardcore players. So it'll be a real test for me. Thanks.